Welcome everyone. Congratulations, you made it through 2023. Welcome to 2024. After flying around the sun for the past year, we've seen a lot of trends come and go. So in this video, I'm going to just give hot takes of what I think may or may not happen for 2024. Some items that may gain popularity and others that I'm hoping dies off and what actually may die off. So let's get started on the first one. So something that we've seen back in around like 2020 was the creation of DIY boba kits. To be clear, boba kits have always been available. It just wasn't as widely available or popular as it had been since 2020. You could go to Asian supermarket and grab like a pack of pre-made boba, cook them for about 10-15 minutes, and then boom, you have boba and you can make whatever drink you would like to go into it. Year after year, we start seeing companies releasing their versions of a boba kit, but typically they all are pretty similar where they have the boba, they probably have straws in it, they have some form of syrup, or they tell you what syrup to use with the boba, and potentially have a drink packet in there. Or maybe tea leaves. It was kind of popular because it was innovative. We were stuck at home. Coming into 2023, I saw that, there's more companies that are coming out with boba kits, but it wasn't as prolific as it was, like maybe a few years back. For example, I went to Home Goods not too long ago and saw a product line that had multiple different flavors of a boba kit. I thought it was kind of interesting because I'd never seen Home Goods with boba kits before, but that's starting to become popularized once more. I think that a lot of people are either getting tired of trying to make these kits and just not having the same, flavored profile as you'll get when you go to a boba shop. So I see something where there will be a slight exhaustion with the amount of boba kits available. In 2024, we're probably going to see a slight decline in people who purchase it as a returning customer. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to buy it for the first time. But in terms of returning customers, I don't really see that one being a high value one. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying DIY boba kits are going to completely die off. There's going to be enough people who are curious and want to try to make boba tea at home. So they're probably going to use a boba kit in the very beginning to learn how to make it. And down the road, they probably will go get the tapioca starch and actually try to create a fresh batch from scratch. Maybe they'll go back to instant if they had a good experience with, whichever brands that they try. However, I don't think it's going to be something that's going to last too long. I don't think it's going to die in 2024. However, I do think there will be a decline for it. That does not mean that the next item, which is pre-made boba, is going to see the same fate as the DIY kits. So for this one, I'm kind of grouping two different things. They're technically completely different, but I just want to group them in for simplicity of the video. And that will be the pre-made drinks and instant drinks. A brand called Joyba that sells their beverages, which would typically be either green tea or lemonade. They're basically a drink base with a popping boba and straw. And then the other one would be an instant kind of drink. For example, the Gong Cha that I reviewed. So it'll just be whatever you can make instantly. I think this one could be one that we could see more and more occurring. If you've ever been to Five and Below or Asian supermarkets, you will see a lot of canned boba tea. That has always been around. It's just, I'm curious whether or not this is the year where we'll start seeing more and more of those being stocked on shelves. I see it in some Targets and some Walmarts where you'll find canned versions of the boba tea. Typically, a lot of them they sell online, but I'm curious to see whether I will see more of it on shelves. Now then, when it comes to, let's say, the powdered drinks, where it's a little bit more instant, for that, I'm actually curious to see whether or not we'll see more Chinese brands coming over. Back when I was living in Shanghai, there was an abundant amount of instant drink mixes. They typically came in a disposable cup, so you take off the wrapper and there's a drink mix in there and you just add hot water and boom, you're done. I'm curious whether or not we'll see more of those Chinese brands making their way over here. But of course, that will depend on the regulations and the trade agreements between US and China. See whether or not Chinese branded goods for milk tea will be allowed over here. I think maybe 2024 we'll see maybe like one or two brands able to enter it, but it's whether or not it'll be profitable for them because since China is such a huge market on its own, and I'm not saying they're technically self-sustaining, but when it comes to milk tea base, I feel like they should be fine with just doing Eastern Asia. And maybe the US market might be a good one for them, who knows, but we'll see. However, I do think the prepackaged drinks, such as, maybe the canned ones or, bottle drinks like Joyba, I see that there will be more opportunities for other brands to get in on that if they are able to find the right partner and able to perfect the tapioca pearls. Because if you ever had a canned boba drink, the drink itself tastes okay, but the tapioca pearls leave a lot to be desired. So this next one is more specific to cafes and shops, and that's fusion drinks. For me, I've been seeing a lot more shops and cafes that are doing more drinks that are not technically part of like Taiwanese drink cultures. Of course, we always had matcha and Thai tea being synonymous with Boba Tea, but technically they weren't part of, Taiwanese, beverages. So that one came in, but in America, where it's like, yeah, cool. Those are typical drinks. However, other drinks such as, a matcha or mango nada, those are new ones that are kind of being added to more and more people's menus. For this year, I definitely see more fusion drinks. So example would be like for my shop, we experiment a lot of different type of drinks. So one would be like a masala chai, not the terrible Starbucks chai that they pass off as chai. That's terrible, awful. If you never had real, authentic Indian chai, go give it a shot. There are multiple different types and styles depending on their region and variation. And that's just within India itself, not the subcontinent of India, or even those in Saudi Arabia and UAE. Another example would be a popular drink that has traveled from West Africa all the way to the Caribbean and Central America. With the different names you'll hear as Bisap, Zobo, Sorrel, and in Central America, they call it Agua de Jamaica. Or I'm pronouncing it wrong, but basically we read as Agua de Jamaica. This one is basically hibiscus, tea leaves with some form of juice, whether it's pineapple, orange, apple, and a lot of spices. So with spice, you'll typically see cloves, you'll see cardamom, you'll see nutmeg, you'll see ginger, just a lot of spices. And of course, some of them, they do a little bit more than others. And with this drink, I definitely see it being something that can become popularized down the road. But overall, back to the context of this video, I definitely see more fusions of other drinks that are found in other cultures with boba tea. I don't see that one slowing down. Another trend I see that has proceeded for the past several years into 2024 would be customers moving away from basic flavored drinks. So in the past, specifically like the East Coast and probably some parts in the Midwest here and there, you get like basic flavored drinks like a honeydew boba tea, an avocado boba tea, or a blueberry boba tea. Basically like a single flavor that typically is a powder form. Within the past several years, you've been seeing more and more flavor being introduced, like a creme brulee or a different type of jelly or a different type of pudding, like a ube pudding or a taro cold foam. So I still see a lot of these type of trends continuing for 2024, where, who knows, who might see a croissant stabbed inside a brown sugar milk tea, or maybe a variation of the strawberry matcha latte. So I believe that we're moving away from the basic powder drinks, not taro or matcha, but more of like a pineapple powder or a strawberry powder drink, and moving towards more unique flavors that we did not see in the past. And the last one, and this one I'm really hoping that will die, would be those gigantic boba pearls. I don't see the point of it. Yeah, it was cool. It looked great, but I just don't see that one being something that will continue to last for a while. When it comes to something that huge, you must just put in a cup and just eat it, okay? Because we all know you can't really just sit there and try to suck that big old ball into your straw. And a lot of places that was doing it, they had to basically get custom giant straws, which of course is going to be more expensive and run up your costs. So I'm really hoping those giant boba pearls are just gone. Like, they look like they were going out the door in 2023, so I'm hoping it just stops. So those are my hot takes for 2024. What's something that you see that you believe will continue from previous years, and what do you think will die off? Let me know in the comments below. All right, peace.